Welcome to VGK Today, presented by BetMGM, where we give you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2024 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Wednesday, May 1st, with the VGK getting ready for Game 5 of their first-round series with the Dallas Stars, set for today at 4:30 Pacific Time. The Stars have roared back to tie the series at 2 after Vegas won the opening 2 games, but now the Golden Knights head back to the arena where they won those games, trying to take a third one in Dallas in this series. While Golden Knights playoff games are picked up nationally on TV through ESPN or TNT, I'm sure many of you listening have been watching along in the first round with our friends at Scripps Sports. As for the first round of the playoffs, all local TV broadcasts are still able to air their team's games. We often hear from those in front of the camera on our show, with the likes of Dave Goucher, Shane Hnidy, and Ashali Vise rotating in, but today we shine a light on someone who makes everything go behind the scenes. After the break, Ashali joins us and chats with Scripps Sports TV producer Tavis Strand for a behind-the-scenes look at our Golden Knights TV broadcasts.
Vegas! On behalf of Knock the Injury Law, Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
If you've been hurt, Knock the is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
For Han Nakvi with Nakvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
Listen up! Your share at winning over $500,000 in free fuel and products is just a tap away with the Terrible Social House app.
Yes!
With a qualifying purchase at the pump or in-store, you can shop, spin, and win directly on your phone. Win free products that you can redeem instantly in-store, or if you're feeling lucky, you could land on free fuel towards your next fill-up. Shop, spin, and win. Download and play today. Terribles. Deliberately different since 1959. Go to terribles.com for more details.
Okay, Justin, well, we are joined by Tavis Strand, who has been the TV producer for the Vegas Golden Knights broadcast since day one. Tavis, how are playoffs treating you so far?
Playoffs are exciting. They're everything we hoped they were going to be, as now it's a 2-2 and we go back to Dallas for a game tomorrow, so it's been very exciting.
So the fans obviously want the Golden Knights to win all the time, as do we, but your job does get a little bit more interesting when the games and the series get tighter and more interesting as well. Is that fair to say?
That is very fair to say. Everything's ratcheted up 1,000% more during the playoffs, right? Every hit matters, every play matters, every goal matters, every offsides matter, every penalty matters. So yeah, there's much more eyes on it, and there's just more of a focus by everybody on how the team's playing at playoff time.
How does, as the intensity shifts for the team, the intensity also shift in the TV truck and on the broadcast? I
think we work up to this all season long. The opportunity for the team to play in the playoffs is amazing for the team. What every team strives for, it's what every organization wants, and us on the TV side, that's what we want. We want the team to be in the playoffs. We want to cover all the drama and all the excitement that you see in the playoff games. And I think for us, it ratchets up in the truck. Yeah, we still maintain a demeanor of calm, but on the inside, you're just as excited as the fans are at home watching it to show them on the televisions what's going on.
So before we talk about how that changes with the playoffs, can you give a Reader's Digest version of what your role is as the producer of the broadcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I think to use a sports metaphor, is that I see myself as the head coach, and Joel Myers is the quarterback. So it's my job to...
Pause. Is Joel Myers, our director, okay with being your quarterback and you being the head coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Joel Myers.
Continue on.
Yes, Joel Myers is okay with having the ball during every snap and during every play. He relishes that role. So for me, I see it as me as being the head coach. I have a vision of what I want the show to look like, along with yourself, along with Dave Goucher and Shane Hnidy. So it's my job to lead our team down the field, to keep using the football metaphor, and to execute The things I have to execute during the game, which is obviously we have to sell commercials. That pays the bills, first and foremost, and all the sponsorships that we have, but also to show the correct replays, to also inform and entertain through graphics, through replays, through little player vignettes, through sound bites, through your hits that you do on the ice side during the game. So it is a lot of things that are happening all at once that I'm constantly making decisions. I'm constantly putting one thing above the other. And then when the whistle blows, that's when it's my time to execute. During play, that's Joel Myers's, our director. That's his time, cutting cameras to bring that excitement home. When there's a whistle, it's my time to make a decision on what we have to do during the game.
How do you decide what you think the audience is interested in seeing, learning about, hearing throughout a game?
You know, I think it's always first and foremost what's happening on the ice, right? It's that respect for the game. It's covering that to show the speed, the skill, the size of the player. Shane Hnidy and I are having a constant conversation during the game off mic. He can talk to me independently while Dave's doing play-by-play. We talk back and forth to one another, and he's constantly commenting on what he's seeing on the ice, and we're having an ongoing dialogue. So when the whistle does blow and play is stopped, that's when it's my turn, like I said before, is to make those decisions. And for me, I'll always lean towards doing a replay, showing what just happened, showing a goal, showing a penalty, showing a big hit. Now, there's other stories that we want to tell. There's stories that you've done your research on that you want to tell. There's other sponsorship things we have to get in. There's full screen graphics that we have to get in that are also informative and entertaining. So yeah, it's always that I'm always placing one above the other, but I will always lean towards what's happening on the ice to show the viewers at home.
What is your preparation process? Because it takes a long time to come up with these storylines, to build all of these graphics, to decide what's going to be on those graphics. Tell us what this 2-week span of round one is like for you.
You know, I think it's a culmination of all the work you've done throughout the season, right? Covering all the teams, covering the Vegas Golden Knights from training camp through the preseason games to now the end of the season and into the postseason. It's a culmination of all. That's all the knowledge that you've learned, all the stories that you've heard, everything that you've read, everything that you've seen. You try to boil it down and sort of to be the most digestible version of the best of the Vegas Golden Knights during this playoff run.
So unfortunately, the regional broadcast only gets to cover round one. Having said that, I'm curious, when you took this job, coming into season one, would you have thought you would be covering 6 playoff runs? Because this is number 6. They only missed the playoffs the 1 year. What would you have said if you would have been able to see the road ahead?
No way that was going to happen, right? We all know sort of the history of expansion teams and how they struggle to begin their seasons, their careers as expansion teams. And that first year was a whirlwind. We were covering a brand new hockey team. We were just getting our feet underneath us at AT&T Sportsnet, covering the Vegas Golden Knights. And for them to have that magical run in the first season you couldn't have scripted. I still can't describe it to people unless you were here in Vegas or watching at home, sort of what that was like. And now every year, minus 1 year, it's been amazing. And I think it's just unbelievable when you look back upon it to sort of describe that this is how well this team has played. And that's a credit to the team. That's a credit to hockey operations. And that's a credit to Bill Foley.
Going into that year, there's a lot of, will hockey work in the desert? Do these fans, are they even going to know hockey? I'm kind of curious what it's been like for you and how impressed you've been to see the way the city's wrapped their arms around the game and you being able to really tell the stories of the game.
You know what? From day one, it's been just the sheer excitement of the fans here and having something that was their own. It wasn't a transplant. They were hockey fans from day one, and it's been nice to see people jump on board as well. Everybody's welcome on the Vegas Golden Knights bandwagon. I think the shooting, unfortunately, that happened on October 1 and how the team and the community came together was amazing. I think that was a key and vital part to their partnership and to the team's acceptance inside the Vegas community. And from there, it just has grown, right? It's just been this magical relationship that the team and the community has had throughout the course of the last 7 years.
Dave and Shane have also been here since day one. I have to ask, how in the world do you deal with Dave and Shane on a daily basis? Any tips?
Yeah, I take a lot of tranquilizers. Other than that, no, kidding. You know what? Dave and Shane are great.
Come on.
They are great.
This is open chirping. We all know Dave and Shane are great.
I know. I cannot say anything bad about them. They have been great to me. We have a lot of fun, the three of us, and you, Ashley, of course. We have a lot of fun together. We enjoy chirping one another. We enjoy giving each other a hard time. But in the end, what we want is a really top-notch, strong broadcast that can entertain and inform the television viewers at home, and that's what hopefully what we give them every night when we go on the air together.
Well, network starts right now, so I'll let you go get prepared for Game 5, Tavis. Thank you for doing this.
You got it, Ashley. Thank you. See you in Dallas.
Great conversation there between Ashley and Tavis, again, the Scripps Sports TV producer for the Vegas Golden Knights. And man, there really is so much going on within games that Tavis has to make sure runs smoothly. As he mentioned, everything from certain camera shots to graphics, commercials, and of course the interviews and stories that you often see Ashley do from rinkside during games. So great to hear from Tavis, who again has been here since day one, and really appreciate his time for today's episode on a busy game day as Game 5 looms for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll bounce around the rest of the NHL playoffs and recap the latest action from around the league.
Jack Daniels has always made whiskey, and if they have it their way, they always will. But there's one thing Jack can't make more of: moments. Those are on us to create. You see, hockey fans, we only get one shot at this thing called life. So let's make sure we're making the most of every moment, whether it's showing up for our team or sipping a glass of Jack while cheering at the radio. Don't let a single moment go to waste. Make it count. Jack Daniels.
Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2022 Jack Daniels. All rights reserved.
Hello, I am Kerry Buboltz, President and CEO for your Vegas Golden Knights. I am a proud board member of the Nevada Donor Network Foundation. With over 600 Nevadans waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, we can all do our part to bring hope to those waiting. I am partnering with Nevada Donor Network to raise awareness about registering to be a hero. I am a registered organ, eye, and tissue donor and proud Nevadan. Are you? Join us at wearenevadans.org.
Let's now get into some of the other first-round action across the NHL playoffs and what happened on Tuesday night, because as we mentioned yesterday, a big opportunity for 4 different teams to punch their ticket to the second round, and after 4 games have been completed, only 2 of them were able to do so. Let's jump into the first game, though, coming from Boston, where the Bruins, with a 3-1 series lead, hosted the Toronto Maple Leafs. This game went to overtime in Boston, and it was the Maple Leafs staying alive with a 2-1 win in the overtime period, as the series now goes back to north of the border in Toronto, with the Maple Leafs looking to extend it further to a Game 7. Next game up on the schedule came from Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Hurricanes hosted the Islanders, and the Hurricanes became the next team to punch their ticket to the second round with a 6-3 victory over New York. Avalanche also looking to move on, and they did as well. A road victory for the Avalanche, 6-3 over the Winnipeg Jets, winning that first-round series in 5 games, and winning the last 4 games after losing the opener in Winnipeg. The Avalanche stormed back for 4 wins in a row, and the Avalanche now await either the Vegas Golden Knights or the Dallas Stars in the second round. Final game of the night came from Vancouver, where the Canucks were looking to put away the Predators in their first-round series, and it was looking good for Vancouver after scoring the game's first goal in the third period, but the Predators came back and won. A couple of goals in the final frame to give them a 2-1 lead and a 2-1 victory, as Nashville stays alive, and they'll get ready to go back home for Game 6 on home ice to keep their season alive. So a busy Tuesday in the NHL playoffs, but less so on Wednesday night. Alongside the Golden Knights and Stars, who will have the first matchup at 4:30, we also have the Edmonton Oilers hosting the LA Kings for Game 5 of that first-round series, and the Oilers have a 3-1 lead looking to put away LA and become the next team to move on to the second round. The Oilers squeaked out a 1-0 victory in the last game of this series, and they'll hope that the home fans in Edmonton can cheer them on to a victory in round 1. Taking a look across the entire bracket at the moment, 4 teams in total have officially clinched their spot in the second round. Mentioned a couple of them today, of course. The Colorado Avalanche have moved on. They await the Golden Knights or the Stars in round 2. Carolina Hurricanes have moved on, but They already know who they're playing in the second round because the New York Rangers swept the Washington Capitals in round 1. So it's Rangers Hurricanes in round 2 from the Metro. From the Atlantic out east, the Florida Panthers are the only other team to, at this point, have clinched their spot in the second round. They, of course, will still be awaiting their opponent because the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs will require a Game 6 coming up here shortly. The only side of the bracket, or the only quadrant of the bracket, that hasn't yet gotten any team through to the second round is the Pacific Quadrant. You have the Vancouver Canucks and the Nashville Predators. That series is, of course, at 3-2 in favor of Vancouver. And the LA Kings, trailing the Edmonton Oilers 3-1 in that series, will hope to extend that one to a 6th game. Otherwise, Edmonton will be the first team from the Pacific to move on to the second round. Lots to be decided still in the NHL playoffs. Series are starting to tighten up just a little bit as teams are fighting their way back. And we'll see if the Golden Knights can fight their way back to claim a 3-2 series lead and come home to Vegas with that lead on Friday for Game 6. As we all hope for a Golden Knights win in Game 5, I will remind you all that when the Golden Knights win, you win as well. Enjoy 31% off menu price pizzas at Pizza Hut the day after each win using code VGKWINS on pizzahut.com. Again, Golden Knights and Stars set for Game 5 of their first round series later today, 4:30 Pacific time in Dallas, as the Golden Knights look to come back after a couple of losses at home and take a 3-2 series lead with them before Game 6 back here in Vegas. Thanks as always for tuning into VGK Today. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your preferred podcast platform, as we'll be back every day throughout the 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs with new episodes. Stay tuned for tomorrow as Dave Goucher joins our show to wrap up Game 5. Justin Russo signing off for VGK Today, presented by BetMGM.